Hey there, everyone. We're back after a bit of a hiatus with another Encounters Let's Play video. Really excited for this one because we're going to be doing a two-character encounter, which is different than what we've done before, just two as opposed to three or four, which is absolutely how the game can be played. And this time we're going after the Specter. And if this looks slightly different than in our previous Let's Plays, that's because it is. Before, it looked sort of like a werewolf monster thing. We've recently updated the pixel art. We have a new journey mode, which we unlocked in our Kickstarter, and we decided to give this a bit of a change. So if you're looking here, you see it's like a lady, and then there's like the ghost here. The idea is that in journey mode, and spoilers, so I guess if you're concerned about spoilers for that, skip ahead like a minute. But in journey mode, you fight each one of these enemies sequentially. It comes in the box. It's a free like alternative way to play. You don't have to. And what you sort of find out is that the Guardian, kind of every other enemy, the Guardian, the Eater of Children, the Specter, and the First Chosen, these four were part of the first group to go into the Shattered Wastes, the first heroes or whatever, and they all sort of fell to corruption in various ways. So the Specter here, and spoilers also, but this is some behind the scenes stuff. The idea is that she was an adventurer like you, but lost her soul somehow. And there will be more about that maybe in a future video, and has thus become possessed by this, spirit, this Specter, ghost, haunt, whatever you want to call it. Therefore, and I'll explain more kind of about that. You also know these cards here are relic cards. They are just for journey mode, and we're not going to be playing with them today. And we also have our first look at location cards too. So those are also an optional way to play. You use them in journey mode, but you can fight in different areas, which add different difficulty modifiers. So if you were to play the game, in journey mode, you'd be fighting the Specter in the Crystal Spires, which sort of makes sense. You'll notice that I also haven't picked the characters yet because I thought it'd be fun just to randomize it a bit. So I have all these dice here, and whatever two characters roll the highest, we're gonna pick. So we're just gonna roll these. What do we got here? We got 5. Oh man, so 5, 5. Ooh, that's a 10. So these two are higher than 5. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That's a 7. We got 9. We got 10. 8. Looks like we got the Ronin and the Slayer BFFs are gonna be. Hopefully I did that math right. If I didn't, then that's okay. So Ronin and Slayer, Sword Bros, gonna be taking on the Specter, which is gonna be fun. So we'll pull out the cards here, the Rage cards, the Specter's new ability card, and of course the standee. I think the art is really awesome. Our pixel artist did a super great job, just sort of behind it menacingly. First thing we do, as usual, again, hopefully you've looked at our previous Let's Plays, which will have informed you on kind of this whole process, but I'll go through it pretty quick. We'll set our health to 10, set our magic to 9, got this health to 9, magic to 7, and then we'll shuffle all these real quick. Let's draw some cards. So the Specter's big thing is on the first side, parasitic possession. This monster creature is literally eating the host alive. You can see the bone arm here is already started, and so it's eating the flesh, and once it's gone, it'll attempt to eat your flesh as well, which we obviously don't want. So we got these 4, and then 4 items. Boom. And then Slayer, very flexible character, right? You get 2 of each card. 2 martial, 2 support, 2 sorcery, and then also 2 item cards. So let's reveal what we have here. We'll reveal all of them and kind of go through this draft process together. So for the Ronin, we have Terra Strike, which means if we're in the front line, we deal additional damage. Blade Blossom, which is a 1-use card, but it's really strong. It only deals 1 damage, but you roll 2 dice, and you can do the attack a whole bunch of times, and you gain a bunch of threat, but I could attack like this area and this area and this area and this area and this area. And you'll gain threat the whole time, but it really allows for some big damage if you can time it right. We didn't draw Ghost Nectar, which it pairs really well with. Smiting Impale is a card we recently got a bit of an update to. So this card is really, really cool because if the enemy is staggered and this attack hits, so it has to hit, you deal 2 additional damage. But before damage is dealt, reduce your threat by the value rolled, and you're rolling 2 dice. So it it basically means, like, let's say your threat is 6, you need to roll higher than a 6 in order to hit the enemy, right? So what you're gonna do is you'll roll whatever. Let's say you roll 7 and you hit. You'll reduce your threat by that amount, which basically means reduce your threat to 0, and you'll deal 2 additional damage. So Smiting Impale is really powerful, but is only effective for the most part for 3 if you can hit the enemy. And in addition, so the Ronin is dealing 2 damage, and then you're dealing 2 additional damage if it hits. So that's 4 damage, so you begin with 4 cards. So you really have to be careful of how much threat that's going to give you, because it's possible, like, once you deal that damage, it just bumps all the way back up. But it can be a really powerful card. And then Mage Breaker, you don't gain threat from magical cards when performing this attack. So that's these guys. Oh, sorry, those guys right here. So that one's also very, very strong. As for items, we have Empowering Drop Plus. I roll 2 dice, gain that much MP. Then me use any active ability, even if it's been used as activation. That's interesting because it means we could use Smiting Impale an additional time, Mage Breaker an additional time. It's a free attack, which can be really good. We drew 2 of those. Crystal Elixir is incredible. You'll remove all afflictions from a character in an area, threat to 0, lets you cycle cards. Really, really good. And then obviously the health potion, you can choose 1 die and gain that much HP, remove 1 affliction. I'm going to see what the Slayer has, what we can maybe find some synergies on before we pick. Slayer, Provoking Pierce. So this is really interesting for Smiting Impale because we could move all of the enemy strength cards from an adjacent area into the target area. So, for example, let's say we're in a situation like this, right? And I have a card here, and we have a bunch stacked like this, right? Something we could do is, if we were in a situation like this, we use Provoking Pierce, so we move all these over. This damage gets dealt, right? And then if the enemy was staggered, we could then use Smiting Impale to get rid of all these cards. It would give us 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It would give us 12 threat, which would be too much, which is why Smiting Impale can be a bit risky with a 4 damage character. But that could be a really interesting combo that we could pursue if we wanted. Also interesting to look at the Specter. This front side is 6 physical and 0 magical. So a lot of physical damage coming in, a lot of physical cards. What else? We have Sweeping Slash, which is a great card for the Slayer. If you're in the front line, this attack hits, deal 1 damage to each adjacent area. Really like that card for the Slayer. Warding Brace, when an adjacent character gains threat, you can gain that threat instead. That's another great one to pair with Smiting Impale. Strategic Mastery, when a character in your area rolls dice on an attack, if one of the dice rolls is equal to your crit value, the attack is critical. That is actually really interesting, especially with Smiting Impale, because the Slayer's crit value is 6. So that is really interesting. I like Strategic Mastery. We might try that. Necrotic Arts is the same thing as Mage Breaker, except with physical attack cards. We drew a lot of good ones for the Slayer. This is touch. Oh my gosh, and Flash Beam, if you roll below a 7, the attack is a crit. Superior Recovery Serum just gives you a critical recovery, which is awesome. And then a High Health Potion is slightly stronger than Health Potion, but a little more of a risk because you're not rolling 2 dice, it's just 1 die. Man, this is really interesting in terms of our card draws. I'm not sure. The Specter Part 2 basically does a really good job of erasing our trait. So maybe leaning on powerful abilities is the way to go. Let's not go with Mage Breaker. I want to keep Smiting Impale. Seems really good. I want to keep Strategic Mastery. That seems really good. I don't think we need Warding Brace on this one. I want to keep Necrotic Arts. And let's keep Flash Beam. Okay, so let's do Strategic Mastery, Necrotic Arts, and Flash Beam to really help get these crits up. No items here. And then we'll keep Smiting Impale. Blade Blossom, because we only have 2 characters, so it's a really good way to clear out stuff. And what's better, a Crystal Elixir or a Health Potion? Let's do a Health Potion. There are only 2 of us. We probably need a good way to manage our health. It's such a valuable resource when you only have the 2 characters. So we'll move our character card here. We'll do Blade Blossom, Smiting Impale, and a Health Potion. Very cool Ronin build. And then... So technically when you play, these go on the... I think they're shuffled back in the deck when you're done. I'd have to check the rules again. We've gone back and forth so many times on whether they get shuffled into or they're just placed on the bottom. Most effects have you put cards on just on the bottom of the deck. It's a little annoying in Tabletop Simulator, but it's much faster when you're actually on the table. So rage cards go there. Let's create the decks. We're going to do 12 of these physical cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then, of course, as always, we're going to put 1 in each area. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll place our characters. I want to keep us close to each other, so let's do this. Parasitic Possession says, during the defend phase, revealed strength cards are placed into wounds instead of fatigue. It's supposed to represent this... the ghost eating away at its host, so purposely damaging it. All right, let us begin. Let's get some dice. We'll copy them and paste them. Let's tint these, I don't know, like a teal, like a crystal teal for our Slayer. And I actually like let's make them pink. Some cherry blossom pink. Pretty. And that's great. We shall begin. So first, we have the refresh phase. So we each are going to roll 2 dice. So a lot of cards are going to come out on the table. Let's see. We got 5, 5. And we'll roll here. Remember, each character rolls the number of refresh dice. 1 and 4. So what is over 5? This one is over 5, and this one is over 5. So that's what we have to contend with. So let's just begin with the Ronin. We'll just move. And then, remember, Strategic Mastery counts for the Slayer as well. So it's a character in your area. So you're in your own area. So if we do any 2-die attack, that would help us potentially get a crit, which we have on Flash Beam. So we'd crit if we roll a 6 on Flash Beam, and we'd crit if... I don't know if we have the MP to do both. Maybe that was a bad draw, but it'll be really good with the Ronin with Blade Blossom and Smiting Impale. We'll set that up later. Anyway, we're going to do a basic attack, which is 1 die. It's a 2, which is greater than 0, so that hits. So these will both go to Fatigue to help to manage that area. Remember, we don't want it over 5 because something bad happens then. And right now it was, 7? It was at 9. So we're going to gain 5 threat. And then the Slayer, both of them deal 2 damage, which could be a little dangerous for us. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 for Necrotic Arts here, so I don't gain threat on this attack. We'll roll. It's a 1-die attack, which hits. So both of these are going to go to Fatigue, but I'm not going to gain any threat because of Necrotic Arts. So I made my blade all, pulled from death energy in order to carve through it, which is really interesting because it's like this Specter character. I like the theme on that. So that was our action phase. Let's move to the defend phase. There are no cards in my area, so this rage card is going to come out. Fresh Meat. The character with the lowest threat, roll 1 die, reduce HP by the number of strength cards in the rolled area. Oh, okay, that shouldn't be that bad. So that could be bad in the future, but let's just roll. I have the Slayer has the lowest threat. So area 2 has 1 strength card, so reduce my HP by 1. That could be bad if we were like really stacking it up. So that's gonna go on the bottom. Let's remember Fresh Meat was the first one. Clearly we've enticed the Specter. Fresh meat. I don't know if that's what it sounds like, but that's what it sounds like in my head. Look at that face, that schnoz. Yeah. Cool. And then this is going to flip and attack the Ronin. 1 damage. Very cool. And then this will go into wounds because of parasitic possession. Back to the refresh phase. Let's roll some dice. We'll put a card here and here because they're empty and we have characters in them. And roll some dice. We'll roll 2 for the Ronin. 1 and 4. And then we'll roll for the Slayer. 1 and 5. All right, what areas are looking bad? So this is over 5. So this one will pop off and hit us, which I don't love. But I'm not sure there's much we can do about it right now. We didn't take any repositioning abilities, we didn't really draw any, so that's I mean, I guess that one's on us. That one's on us. I don't have enough for Flash Beam, which would be really cool right now. Let's just use Necrotic Arts again. We'll use Necrotic Arts, and then we'll take a recover action. So we're going to roll 1 die. Can we get a 6? 4, that's fine. Okay, so these will go here. No threat gained, because Necrotic Arts is awesome. And we will take a recover action to get some MP back. Gets us to 6. So we drew a really good combo for the first phase for this. Necrotic Arts will be less good in the second one. But for now, we're in good shape with that. Leaves a card here to protect us. I like that a lot. The Ronin. So if we attack with the Ronin right now, and we hit, we roll a 6. If we roll a 6, then we would hit and deal 2 damage, and we'd gain 5, 6, 7, we'd gain 8, we'd immediately shatter. That seems a bit dangerous. So we're going to do a rare recovery on the front end. 5 to 0, and then we're going to attack. It's a hit. That hits. So these will go to fatigue, and then we'll gain 8 threat. Yikes. But I didn't want that 5 to affect both of us. That would have been really rough. All right, let's go to the defend phase. We got 1 damage to our Slayer. So that will go into wounds. And then another rage card. Marrow Shrapnel, 4 damage. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. I forgot that that card was in there. But at least it didn't like pop our threat all the way up. That would have been really rough. So we're gonna do that. 4 damage. Yikes. Back to the refresh phase. So this was action, defend, refresh. We got 2 here. Now exposed, which is really nice. Now we can really deal a ton of damage. So let's do 2 dice here. 5. And then 2 dice here. 3. So this one's over, this one's over. Oh, they're just both over by 1. That's really frustrating. You know what? Let's... Now I wish I had now I wish I had taken the crystal elixir to manage this threat. That's tough. That's tough stuff. 8 is really high for smiting Impale, but it might be worth it to try. Let's go first with the Lancer, or the Slayer. 1, 2, 3. And we haven't used this trait yet, which helps us mill the deck, because we've been using ability attacks. It's basically just a crit if I use Necrotic Arts right now, because he's staggered. I think it's worth it to just do that. So we're going to roll Necrotic Arts. 1, 2. 1 is over nothing, which is great. And these will both go into wounds, and Necrotic Arts means I don't gain any threat. Again, I promise you, this seems very good, and it is very good. But the thing about them only working on the claw cards is that it limits you. I've designed a lot of these enemies so that cards like that aren't good, usually aren't the best for every single enemy, right? Ronin now. I think it would be fun to use one of these abilities, but I think the safe thing to do would be to attack, basic attack, see if I get a crit. If I don't, I'll do, because of my trait, Disgraced Wanderer. If I don't get the crit, I can... If I don't get the crit, I can do a free recover, and then I can do a basic attack. So let's see if we can just get a 1 on the crit. Nope, 6. Oh man, I wish we were in the same area. My strategic mastery. That's a miss, so then we're gonna take a recover action. 6, love that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we just need to not roll a 2 on this. 1, and that is a crit, which is awesome. So these will go into wounds. Well, that's how that's supposed to work. That's great. And I gain no threat for it because it's a crit. So cool. Something we're doing as an add-on for, and then it'll be available in the store later, but if you backed the Kickstarter, when the Pledge Manager comes out in a couple weeks, one of the things you can buy are character dice. And there's a 1 die for every character for your basic attacks that has the number symbol replaced with a crit. So like the Ronin has like a pink marbled die that has a crit value for 1. And so when you roll that, instead of a 1, there's a crit. And then the Slayer's 1, it's the same thing, except the 6 is replaced with a crit. So I think those are, they're pretty, I think they're pretty awesome. Let's see. That's it for the defend phase. So first up, we'll do this. Soulless Gaze. Ugh. What do we got? 4 threat. Manageable. Manageable. And then this area limit's broken, which means it flips and affects everybody, so everyone's going to take 2 more damage. Might have to use that health potion soon. And then that goes to wounds, because parasitic possession. And then puppet sorcery. Oh my god. What is this? 2 damage, 2 threat, 2 corruption, which doesn't do anything, and then 2 afflictions. What do we get? Paralyzed, I can't perform the moon action, and possessed, I have no trait. A recover action can only remove this with a crit. All right, the possessed isn't good, and we're gonna probably be seeing a lot more of that later. Oop, didn't want to get rid of that. That will go away if I shatter, which is good. It's like the only surefire way to get rid of it, but yeah, we'll be seeing a lot more possessed. I mean, hopefully soon if we get out of this first phase. So yeah, that was the end of the defend phase. No longer is it... So we're gonna move everything from fatigue into stamina. We'll put that into refresh. Guarded now because there's cards back in stamina. Card here. Card here. So we'll do the refresh phase, rolling 2 dice. This enemy is brutal. 5. Remember, nothing happens on a 6. 3. We're lucky because these 2 are the ones that are messed up. So we did get a little bit lucky there. Man, not having... Okay, pro tip, if you're going to fight the Specter, try to have a character that deals just 1 damage, because having 2 characters deal 2 damage is so hard to manage all this threat. That was not a pro move by me. I mean... Oh, man, we don't have anything with 3. I got to deal with this card. I mean, I guess what's the play here? Do I do a basic attack and try to get a 5 or a 6? And if I do, we deal that 2 damage, and then I can move. That seems like a pretty big risk. I could recover first, drop that down, and then essentially guarantee it, but then I'm taking a rage card. Have we gone through the whole rage deck yet? I think so. Which would be fresh meat. I think we're going to risk it. I think we're going to recover. Drop that to 0. We're going to do 2. Is it worth milling the last 2 cards with the trait, doing a basic attack? That's interesting. We could mill the last 2 cards into fatigue, stagger it. Let's do that. Let's just do a basic attack. It will make me gain 6 threat. When you deal damage. Nah, I don't think... it's not worth it. We'll do necrotic arts again. I'm waffling. 3. It's higher than 0, so we'll put these into fatigue. And just accept that I'm going to take another rage card. The Ronin can't move because they are paralyzed, but that's actually okay. We're going to recover. $5 down to 0. And then we're going to do a basic attack. 2, which counts. So put those 2 into fatigue, and we'll gain 6 threat, which I don't love, but I don't have a trait, or else I just would have attacked first and possessed. It's not fair that the Specter can possess her and me at the same time. It's not fair. Rage card. Oh no, end me. Place 2 cards from stamina into any area. Oh no! Dang it. We didn't count right. So we have to put them into any area. Well, I'm definitely doing this so we don't draw another rage card. So place 2 cards from stamina into any area. It doesn't specify order. So we're doing that. So now that's how this works. Now it's technically staggered, and then it's going to immediately go back to being not staggered. And then this goes, those 4 go there. So we kind of skip a stagger phase, which I don't like. But on the bright side, if we don't roll a 6, these will all come out. Well, I did roll a 6, so that's what I get for saying that. And then 1. 1. I think this is the time when we actually use the trait to, yeah. We're going to move with the Slayer. We're going to do a basic attack, which hits. We're going to spend our last 2 MP and move this to fatigue, which staggers the enemy. And then I dealt 2 damage, and I gained 5 threat. And I think the correct call now that it's staggered, is to, we're going to recover with the Ronin, which is a 1, which is a crit, which is incredible. And then we're going to spend 3 MP for Blade Blossom. So it deals 1 damage, which is great. And we can target each area and roll 2 dice for each one. So we'll start with this one right here, because it'll only give me 2 threat if I hit. That hits, because my threat is 0. That goes to wounds, and I'll gain 2. Didn't get to combo it with Strategic Mastery, which is a shame, but c'est la vie. We'll do this one. That's a 5, which is greater than 2. So that'll go to wounds. I gain 2 more. And then we'll go over here. Area 1, which is a 6, which is greater than 4. So that'll go to wounds. And we'll gain 3. And is it worth it going after this one and get 4? I think so. 10 is greater than 7. That goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason that I know that that's okay is the claw cards never have threat symbols behind them. They're physical attacks. And we don't have any rage cards coming out. So that means we're only taking physical attacks. So 2 damage to the Slayer. That goes to wounds. And then 2 damage to the Ronin. That goes to wounds. Remember, you don't die when you hit 0. You get 1 more full activation, and I have a health potion, which lets me remove an affliction as well. Guess what I'm removing? Oh, and I have to cycle Blade Blossom. So let's do that. What do we get? Oh, we never shuffled that. Oh, well, Provoking Pierce. The cards decided that's what we wanted to have, so that's what we will be getting. And then this comes here, and then we'll roll dice. Being bad with that token. 2. Okay, so there's nothing in Stamina Fatigue. The first damage we deal will cause it to change forms. So I think we did a pretty good job here. I mean, the Ronin is at 0, which we're going to have to deal with. We'll have to decide whether... Yeah, I think the health potion is best. And we'll get rid of the possession for now. But let's start with the Slayer. And we'll recover 1. Ugh, I guess we'll just attack and see what happens. 2, I miss. Okay, so nothing happened. Don't love that. I think we might just have to double recover with the Ronin. 2... 1, 2. Let's use this health potion. Oh, you know what? We're going to cheat. We're going to say we use the health potion first to heal. One second. We'll heal. We'll heal 6. That's great. And then we'll get rid of possession. I'm going to put it on the side here because we're going to need it in a second. And then we'll say I did the attack, that basic attack, which was a 2, which is a miss, but I have my trait back, so I'll take a free recover. Oh no, you know what? That first one was a recover, which was 2. So let's say I attack now, 3, miss, and now I'll get the recover. 1, okay. Boop. So the order was I did a recover for 2, used the health potion, rolled 2 dice, got 6 back, removed my, what does this say? Yeah, recover action, you know, but I used an item to get rid of it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So we actually didn't cause it to change phases here, which is a little rough, but 1 damage, wounds, 1 damage, and an affliction, another affliction. Poison. Great. When you complete an action, reduce your MP by 2. Not that big of a deal right now. Oh, you know what? The first time damage is dealt, it changes form. So it dealt damage to itself. So I guess that counts. Love that. I've never done that before. Boop. Okay, so we get rid of all of these cards. So those will go. So all of these cards we'll just put back here. And then we gain 6 per character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that puts us, we got 12. Okay, we're at 12. In a little precarious spot. Now this would go, and we do all of that. And this would go into fatigue now, because it no longer has that trait. Let's talk about a new host. So now it's mad. It's got this big beak because it needs to burrow into a new. Oh, and look what happened to that body, just eaten alive. At the start of the defend phase, we were already in the defend phase. Search the play area and affliction deck for the possessed affliction and assign it to the character with the highest threat. Then draw a rage card. We did circumvent that this time, which is really nice, but in the future, it's inevitable. Someone is getting possessed. Refresh phase, let's roll 2 dice. And now my necrotic arts is useless because we don't really have any, only have 3 physical cards left. So 2 and 1. This is also pretty problematic because now we're in a situation where the area limit's only 4, so stuff's gonna be popping off. Threat's gonna be popping off a lot. This phase is a lot different than the other one. 1 and 5. We got these 2 areas are problematic that we're gonna have to deal with. I can't move right now with the Ronin, which I don't like. So let's recover with the... Oh, and we flip that over. Let's recover with the Ronin. 3, let's get rid of the Paralyze. And completed an action. Reduce my MP by 2. I think would be okay with that popping off. It's just a 2-threat magic. It's probably just some threat, maybe an affliction, which wouldn't be great, but I'm willing to take the risk on that one and instead clear off this poison. Let's get rid of this poison. So we used a double recover to get rid of our 2 afflictions. We might get 1 back, but I'm hoping that we don't. Next up, necrotic arts will not help me anymore. Let's recover some magic. Let's just recover and see what we get. 3. Let's reduce some threat. And we'll attack, because I don't want that 5er popping off. 5, which hits. So we'll put these 2 in, and we'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're at 7. Okay, let's go to the defend phase. Nothing here, so we'll remember you start in the defend phase. You go in order 1 through 5, and you check various things. So we draw one of these. The character with the possessed affliction, but there is no character with the possessed affliction right now. So this is actually a freebie for this one, which is really good. So no essence drain right now. And then this flips. Oh, sorry. This flips. Both characters gain 1 threat because it's an area attack. Area limit was broken. And then this flips. And then 3 to the Ronin. 1, 2, 3. 8 cards left. And we roll. So this area is already broken. We're okay there. 2. So now this one's bad. Now this one's bad. 1 and 5. And this one's bad. Okay, so these 3 are bad. I think we just again have to accept that that one's gonna pop off. You know, we could move and then do a provoking pierce and just move everything over onto that area, which would set up a smiting impale for next turn. I think that might be what I want to do. So 1, 2, 3. Let's spend 1 MP for provoking pierce. So it's a 2-die attack. If you roll less than 8. Oh, we skipped something. I'm sorry. Let's just roll that back. At the start of the defend phase, we forgot to do that. So who had the... Let's roll this back real quick. This might change what we're going to do. We'll leave these here because it's not that important, but... Who had the lowest threat? So you're going to get possessed, and then we draw a rage card. The possessed character takes 1 damage, gains a threat, and an affliction. It's from Spirit Leech. Confused, when you hit with an attack, if the roll is odd, deal damage to yourself instead of the target. All right, that does change what we were going to do. So then we would go through the whole refresh phase, and yeah. So now I think what I have to do is I need to recover. And I'm possessed, so I have no trait. Get rid of confusion. And let's just we'll do provoking pierce, but right here instead. And hope we roll high enough that it's not below an 8. Oh, well, we missed. We rolled a 2. So this is bad. So that's going to pop off. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, everyone. This is a bad round. Bad round. Dang. I think I need to recover with the Slayer first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we just have to do a basic attack and hope we hit. Nope, and we missed there too. All right, this is going to hurt. This round's going to really hurt us. This is going to flip and affect everybody. So we're both gaining 3. And then this is just going to do the Slayer. So Slayer is getting 1 more. This is affecting everyone. They're both getting 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this is affecting everybody. 1 shatter. Dang. And then 1, 2 shatter. All right, so the good news is that possessed goes away when it's start of the defend phase. We keep forgetting that. That one's on me. Start of the defend phase, we have to do that. So it would have been the Ronin again. So what would the Ronin have done? Roll a die, set threat to 11. All right, so I would have removed the possessed. So inner struggle, actually. So inner struggle says roll 1 die, If I roll a 1, I set my threat to 11, but 2 through 6 remove possessed. But we removed it anyway, so that's really good. That's good for us. But as it stands, the rest of this is not good. The rest of the round played out the same, but this is all not good. We're 2 shattered characters. We did get rid of all that affliction. Let's do corruption. The great news about the Ronin and the Slayer, in terms of long-term, like, stayability, if that's a word. What do we got? Health to 5. Okay. This character doesn't deal a lot of, like, damage, like physical damage. The 5 health on the Ronin's not that big of a deal. And they have really high corruption values. The Ronin's is 10, and the Slayer's is 12. So and the Slayer also has 10 HP. So we're okay to stay on the board a bit. Now the problem is this is going to flip now. 2 afflictions. What do we got? Disease. So next turn I'll get another one, and blind. Reroll 5s and 6s. Dang. I hate that. Let's see. Oops. Let's see what shattered abilities we drew. Umbra Inferno. So I have to gain 4 corruption, but you place a number of strength cards in your area equal to your current corruption into wounds. Then I must cycle it. So at the very least, it's 4 because it costs you 4 to use it. Demonic Flames, passive. When I crit, I place 1 strength card from stamina into wounds, so that's really nice. And Ultimate Control. I can activate any active ability another character has equipped. Gain threat equal to its cost. Or sorry, gain corruption equal to its cost. That'll depend on what we have on the Slayer. Who we get 1 now. Infectious Thorns, active. When you resolve this attack, place strength cards equal to your roll from stamina into any area. That's not going to be relevant, though, because the Slayer gets a new card at the start of their turn. All right, so that was a bad turn. That admittedly was a big clapback by the Specter, and we have a lot of cards we need to get through. We don't have anything in wounds yet, so the good news is this turn, it's going to shatter, so we can... Hopefully, the tides will turn in our favor. So what do we got? We have a 3. So it is now staggered. And then 2, 2, and 4. All right, this is a juicy spot. Hopefully we can get... Let's go with the Slayer first. So at the start of your activation, gain 1 corruption and cycle a shattered card. So we'll gain 1 corruption. Remember, corruption limit's 12, so we're on a ticking timer. We're going to cycle Infectious Thorns. Redemption. When you succumb, roll 2 dice. If you roll crit, or the die face is mad, that's not actually going to help us right now, which is tough, but that's okay. We're going to move, and then we're going to attack this area. We're going to move, and we're going to attack this area. And that hits. It's not a crit, which is unfortunate, but these will go into wounds, which, I mean, it will gain 9 threat, but we should feel good that... No, we should, as long as... Here's the thing. We'll be gaining a rage card, but these rage cards only affect a possessed character. And we can manage it so we guarantee the Ronin is possessed on this defend phase. That's the kind of the secret to the Specter. It's managing your threat values to keep yourself safe and clear out areas from these rage cards. That's the code. And then let's go with the Ronin now. We're going to move, and we're going to attack. So that's a 7, which is amazing. So that's a crit. When we crit, place 1 card from stamina into wounds. Unfortunately, there's nothing in stamina, so Demonic Flames doesn't trigger. But that was really good for us. So no threat gained by the Ronin. So let's go to the defend phase. Ronin gets the possessed one and a rage card. The character with the possessed fiction raise threat to 11 or shatter. We're already shattered, so actually I should clarify that. I should clarify that. I'll say if shattered, if able, or if already shattered. Oh, I'll think of something. That's actually a problem card that I didn't just realize, but Soul Constriction. That's why we play test. Running out of time to play test. Has to go soon. That would be a FAQ entry. Now another card will come out for the Slayer. Are they really your friend? The character with the possessed affliction perform a basic attack against the character with the highest threat. Oh. And he can't miss because his threat's 0. So 2 damage to the Slayer. Ugh, ow. That's annoying. But I'll take that 2 damage every time. And then Essence Drain. The character with the possessed affliction gains 3 threat and place 2 cards from wounds into fatigue. Oh. We just did 2 damage. No. That stinks. That's annoying. So we're going back to the refresh phase. And then let's roll some dice. So 1, and then 1 and 3. So these 2 areas are not looking great. Let's go with the Slayer again and see what we get here. So no redemption. We need something really good. We need something really good. Crossroads of Faith. Roll 1 die. 1 through 3. Oh, I gotta gain a corruption. 1 through 3, reclaim yourself. 4 through 6, return this card to the bottom of the shattered deck. So this is the problem here with Crossroads of Faith, guys. If I roll a 4 through 6 on this card goes to the bottom of the deck, and I don't get any more. You can only cycle a card if you have a card to cycle. You have to, replace it, so you get a new one. So next turn, I can't. If I fail on this Crossroads of Faith, then we lose this card goes under, and I don't get any more shattered cards. Now, is it worth it to reclaim myself? Maybe. Maybe it is. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do it. Let's see if we can roll a 1 through a 3 here, okay? 2! Yes! 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 Reclaimed! Love that. Oh my gosh. Very cool. Very cool. So when you reclaim, you get rid of these. And you can draw 3 cards from any deck, including the Shattered deck, which is pretty wild. That goes to 0. And then it's just setting everything back again. So we're reclaimed. We get that reclaimed token. Oh, and we get to replace our standee. So stand by on that. I'm going to be right back and set that up in the mod. All right, we're back, and the Slayer has been reclaimed. So in the reclaimed Slayer standee art, got a big, not broken sword anymore, but there's a scar from being shattered. Still part of it. It's kind of crystallized over on the face. So Slayer has reclaimed himself. Love that. Now, what cards do we draw from the deck? I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to take a Shattered card because you can use MP instead of Corruption. If we get something good, it could really change the game. So we'll do 1 Shattered card. Let's do 1 Support card and 1 Sorcery card. Soul Tear. When you deal damage... Oh, this was a god draw. This was an incredible draw, guys. When you deal damage, roll 1 dice. Die. I keep meaning to update that. 1 die. Place that many strength cards from fatigue into wounds. If your roll matches your current threat, you succumb. You don't have it. I don't have any threat when I'm in this form. Oh, Reclaiming is so good. Reclaiming is so good. Strategic Mastery. When a character in your area... Oh, I just put that back on top. I should shuffle that before we... I'm sure that's the problem with this one too. Wind Run. I perform a move action. Free, costs 2 MP, which is great. And Hex Bolt. You must reroll any 1s or 2s if you're in the back line. It's a 2-die attack. Okay, this is all really solid. This is really good. This is going to carry us through now. And I still have one action left, guys. And I drew Wind Run because Crossroads of Faith was my action. So, oh my god, we're finding all sorts of cool combos this game. So I could immediately spend 2 MP to get a free move. Yeah, let's do that. Let's spend 2 MP and get me a free move here. Wait, guys. This could be... I'm not going to have enough MP. Wait. When you deal damage. When you deal damage. All right. We're going to try something crazy, guys. No, it's not worth it yet. It's not worth it yet. What do we have? 5 cards in there? There's something crazy you could do if the Slayer had enough MP right now. The Reclaimed Blade and Soul Tear have the same trigger. When you deal damage, when you deal damage. So, theoretically, if we had a lot of cards in Fatigue, I could move, attack, use Soul Tear, and put a bunch of... use Reclaimed Blade, put a bunch of cards into Fatigue, and then use Soul Tear immediately after, and move them to Wounds. God, that is so cool. We're not going to do that, but I like the idea. I like the idea of it. So let's do a basic attack. Which is a crit, which is awesome. The Slayer's just popping off right now, guys. He's going nuts. That's amazing. Okay, that's it for the Slayer's turn. Wow. Amazing. The Ronin, who reclaimed last game, 2 reclaims in a row. That's really rare. There's some people who play this like a lot and don't ever do that. Amazing. So, possessed, diseased, blinded, all very bad. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna move and we're just going to attack. We still have Umbra Inferno in the wings, which is great. Which is a 4, which hits. So these 2 will go into fatigue. 4, 5, and we'll gain 5, will put us to 8. And then disease means we gain another affliction. And my crit value is 0. Okay, that's all very bad. That's all very bad. The possessed trait started a defend phase. Now going to move over to the Slayer. Spirit Leech. Take a damage. Gain a threat. No corruption gain because I'm not shattered. Shadow. After you use an ability, gain threat equal to its MP cost. Okay. And then flip this. We'll gain 2 more. And then draw this. Roll 1 die. Don't roll a 1. 5. Great. So we get rid of the possessed affliction for now. Just Slayer shrugging off the possession. Don't need it. No, sir. No, thank you. Don't want to be possessed. And then this will go here. This will go here. And then we'll roll dice, which should stagger us. 5, 5. Just no double sixes, please. Great. 1 and 3. How many cards are left in there? 2? Yeah. I like this. I like this. Let's do this. Okay, so the Slayer is going to recover first. That's a crit recovery, so we'll just put that there. We're going to attack, which is another crit. He's just popping off. He's just popping off. And then we'll spend 4 MP for Soul Tear. Roll 1 die, place that many cards from fatigue into wounds. 1. Okay, so 1 card from fatigue into wounds. Amazing. Great turn by the Slayer there. And then now we're going to go with the Ronin, who's going to move and use Umbra Inferno. We're going to gain 4 corruption. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're just going to place these into wounds. Then I must cycle it. Marks of the Master. During the defend phase, if you gain more than 1 threat, gain 1 threat instead. That's really good because our threat is 8 right now. And then we gain another affliction. Another disease, so we'll gain 2 afflictions. He's fine. They're fine. Everything's fine. I will get the... Oh, and then I gain threat. I have to gain 4 threat because I have Shadow and I use Soul Tear. But that's okay. Slayer is back to being possessed. The character with possessed... Oh. Oh. Well, you can't shatter when you're reclaimed. Again, this is going to need some work, but raise threat to 11 or shatter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We were doing really good, team. We were doing really good. I think I have to raise my threat to 11 because I can't shatter. Soul Constriction needs some clarification. I'll fix that after this. All right. That's bad because now both of us, because that area limit's broken, gain 2. Slayer dead. Only gain 1 because of Marks of the Master. And then this affects no one. Character of the possessed affliction. Form was base, so they can't. Oh no, man, that's rough. Okay, so this comes out. Now we roll 2 dice. 2. So I have to somehow get rid of all these cards without dying. So we need the Ronin to cut. And I'm diseased. I'm double diseased, burned, and blinded. That's all very bad. So we're going to first recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to attack. We just are going to attack. I have to reroll this 5. You can only reroll a die once, so that's 6. So this will go to wounds. And I will gain 1 threat. Or 3 threat. And we're just going to hope that we have ammo. So, possessed. Draw. Inner struggle. Remove the possession. Spirit Leech doesn't count. Oh, wait, we would have to draw 2 more of these. stun, and burn. So really no crit. Spirit Leech won't affect me because I don't have the Possessed Affliction at the moment. All right. Let's... Oh, wait. This needed to pop off, and I needed to gain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but I only gained 1 because of Marks of the Master bailing me out. And then that will go there. Whew. Yikes. Let's just keep it going. We're going to recover. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to attack. Which is 5, which is higher than 4. And when I complete the attack, I get to reduce my threat by 1 more. But then I gain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I gain 2 more afflictions. Freeze. I have to end this activation. And Berserk. We're getting in trouble. We're getting in trouble, guys. There's only 3 cards left. My disease is really affecting me here. And then the possession is back. I gain 3 and place 2 cards from wounds into fatigue. Oh, but I can only gain 1 because of Marks of the Master. That card is keeping us alive right now. Marks of the Master. If you would gain more than 1 threat, gain 1 instead. Poof. That is literally bailing us out, or we would be losing big time. That one will go there. Let's roll. Please be 5. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can get rid of these 2. Oh no, but that'll give me too much threat. And I can only... Okay, I have to recover. So I have to gain 2 threat in order to recover. 6. Worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that gets rid of my freeze. So that'll go back on the bottom. So we're still possessed. So we'll draw this. Soul Constriction. Can't shatter, so we'll just leave it at that because I'm already shattered. Again, we'll have to figure out how to word that better. This is going to affect me. I gain 1. Thank God. And then this is going to affect me. I gain 1 and a corruption. This will go back here, and then we'll roll. Oh, I didn't gain my 2 diseases. Daze, I can't use abilities, and confuse. Passives you don't use, so that's fine. And 3. I gotta start dealing damage. We're gonna just have to take a risk on this one. We're gonna have to recover to start, which gains me 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to do an attack. Oh, you know what? I forgot I had confuse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I got rid of that confuse because I'm just not going to deal any damage while I have that. 9 goes into wounds. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then we're going to lose. Can't attack anybody. But then this is going to pop off, and I gain 1. And we lose. We lose. No. No. Ah, oh, man, we had so many opportunities to win. Oh, we were so close. We were right there. We only had 4 cards left. Dang. Dang. That one's on me. That one's on me. We had the perfect setup with the Slayer. Like, literally the perfect setup. And I got greedy. I got greedy. We do need to look at Soul Constriction. Where is it? There needs to be another clause in here. The raise threat to 11 or shatter. That probably needs to say something different. But that was super fun. Very close. Very close. As you can see, like managing that possessed pack. I actually thought we really had a chance. The double disease is what got me. It's funny. The shatter characters are immune to about a third of the affliction deck, but I only drew 1 stun. I was hoping to get like weakens or stuff that only affect my MP, but the berserk hurt, the blind hurt, the confuse hurt. Dang, we were right there, guys. We were really right there. I thought we had it, but that's how the game gets you sometimes. Sometimes it just gets you, but man. Next time, we'll be taking on the Sunken Beast. I think we're going to go back to 3 characters for that one. And then maybe later we'll come back to the Specter with reinforcements. But it's a tough fight. That one's a tough one. That one's a tough one. And even I, the game creator, have issues. But we were right there. I think if I had made better choices, we may have come out on top. But until next time, that's Encounters Shattered Wastes.